Daniel Andrew Harding, born December 23, 1983, is an English footballer who last played as a defender for National League South club Whitehawk. Harding began his career with Brighton Hove Albion and has also played for Leeds United, Ipswich Town, Southend United, Reading, Southampton, Nottingham Forest and Millwall before joining Eastleigh and then Whitehawk in September 2016. Harding is a former England under-21 player. Harding joined the Brighton Hove Albion youth scheme in 1999 aged 16. After a successful run in the reserves, he made his first Albion appearance as a substitute for Sean Wilkinson in the 79th minute in a 2-0 home loss against Norwich City on August 17, 2002. This was his only appearance in the 2002-03 season after he suffered a back injury in October. In April 2003, Harding signed his first professional contract with the club. After impressing in 2003-04 pre-season friendlies, Harding spent the first half of the season on the substitutes bench with 7 appearances. Soon after the appointment of manager Mark McGee, Harding was selected to make his full debut against AFC Bournemouth on February 21, 2004 following the suspension of Kerry Mayo. The game ended in a 3-0 win for Bournemouth. Harding remained in the starting 11 for the remainder of the 2003-04 season and helped the club gain promotion to the Championship after beating Bristol City 1-0 in the playoff final in Cardiff. Harding finished the season making 23 appearances. Harding was sent off in the second match of the 2004-2005 season, a 2-0 loss to Plymouth Argyle. After the game, manager Mark McGee defended Harding and he regained his first team place and then scored his first goal for the club in a 1-0 win over against Rotherham United. However, in the next game against Millwall, Harding was at fault for the 2 goals which saw Brighton lose 2-0. He was also dropped by McGee after making mistakes during a match against Stoke City. Despite this, Harding helped to keep the club in the Championship 2004-05, finishing 20th, their highest league position in 14 years. After 2 seasons in which England's U21 coach Peter Taylor and a number of Premier League clubs had reportedly taken an interest in him, Harding was preparing to move on. With his contract expiring at the end of the 2004-05 season, he expressed an interest in a new long-term deal at the club and was initially offered a new 2-year contract in 2004. Delays in resolving the negotiations led manager McGee to publicly express unhappiness, with Harding denying he had turned down a new deal. In February 2005, McGee reopened contract talks with Harding, but 3 months later Harding rejected the revised deal. During his time at Brighton, Harding was given the nickname Mr. Tickle by his teammates because of his long legs and arms, and at one point was nominated by 442 magazine as one of the best 50 players outside the Premiership along with teammate Leon Knight. On June 7, 2005, Harding reportedly cut short a holiday to sign a 3-year contract with Leeds United on a free transfer. Since he was under 24 years of age, Brighton were entitled to compensation to be decided by a tribunal. On July 28, Leeds United were ordered to pay up to £850,000 to Brighton, with an initial payment of £450,000 and a further £400,000 dependent on appearances, international caps, and promotion success. Harding made his Leeds United debut in the opening game of the 2005-06 season in a 2-1 win over Millwall. He had played his first match against his former club on September 12, 2005 and was booed by the away Brighton supporters every time he touched the ball. After appearing in the first 7 matches of the season, Harding was injured and lost his regular first-team place. He went on to make 20 appearances. After only 1 season at Leeds United, Harding moved to Ipswich Town in a part-exchange deal for Ian Westlake on August 4, 2006. Leeds also paid Ipswich £400,000 and a further £100,000 was dependent on Westlake's appearances. Harding made his Ipswich debut in the opening game of the season in a 2-1 loss against Crystal Palace. Harding then provided an assist for Sylvain Legwinski in a 3-1 win over Southend United on October 21, 2006. Harding established himself as first-choice left-back, but despite suffering from an ankle injury that kept him out for 3 weeks, he won 2 awards in the Ipswich Town Player of the Year presentations. Harding started the 2007-08 season in the first team and scored his first goal for Ipswich in a 3-1 defeat at Hull City on September 29, 2007. Harding also set up 2 goals in 2 games, starting with the first assist for Jonathan Walters in a 3-1 win over local rivals, Colchester United on October 23, 2007 and another assist for Danny Haynes in a 3-0 win over Wolves 4 days later. After missing 3 matches due to the performance of Seto, Harding was recalled for the match against Leicester City following Seto's injury. But after making 1 appearance, Harding suffered a thigh injury that kept him out for a number of weeks. After making his return to the first team against Plymouth Argyle, Harding regained his first team place until Seto's return that kept him out of the first team for the rest of the season. Manager Jim Megleton announced that Harding was no longer in his plans for the 2008-2009 season, and on August 7, 2008, Harding moved to Southend United on a 6-month loan deal with a view to a permanent deal. Harding made his Southend United debut in the opening game of the season in a 1-0 win over Peterborough United. Against Stockport County on October 11, 2008, Harding was sent off in the 68th minute. After serving a 3-match ban, Harding made his return from suspension and scored against former club Leeds in a 1-0 win on October 28, 2008. After the match, Shrimpers manager Steve Tilson praised Harding's performance. After 19 appearances for Southend, the club wanted Harding to stay, but he opted to return to his parent club, even though Ipswich were still keen on selling him. Harding made 1 further appearance for Ipswich in a 1-0 away win at Crystal Palace before joining Reading on loan in January 2009 for the remainder of the 2008-09 season. Harding made his Reading debut on April 21, 2009 in a 2-0 win over Derby County. After talks with Ipswich's new manager Roy Keane in May 2009, Harding was told his contract would not be renewed and that he would be released by the club. After leaving Portman Road, Harding went on trial at his former club Brighton Hove Albion. On July 21, 2009, Harding signed a 2-year deal with Southampton, becoming new manager Alan Pardew's first signing. Harding said joining the club was an easy decision the moment he received a phone call from Pardew. Harding made his Southampton debut in the opening game of the season at left back in a 1-1 draw against Millwall. Harding then scored his first goal for the club in a 1-1 draw with Brentford on August 22, 2009. His second goal came on December 12, 2009 in a 3-0 win over Tranmere Rovers, and his third on March 13, 2010 in a 1-0 win over Leeds United. In March 2010, Harding played in the Football League Trophy final at right back in a 4-1 win over Carlisle United. Harding finished his first season at Southampton with 42 appearances. In the 2010-11 season, Harding retained his first team place, despite initially being dropped in favor of Ryan Dixon. Harding provided 2 assists later in the season, the first when he set up a goal for Ricky Langbert in a 4-1 win over Swindon Town on February 26, 2011, and the second when he set up a goal for Jonathan Forte to score his second of the game in a 3-2 win over Milton Keynes Dons on April 2, 2011. Harding helped the club secure promotion to the Championship after a 2 years absence. After making 36 appearances in the season, he was named in the League One Team of the Year along with 4 teammates. His performances throughout the 2010-11 season were praised by Francis Ben Ali. At the end of the season, Harding had an automatic 1-year extension to his contract activated. In the 2011-12 season, Harding was awarded a new 3-year contract and scored his first goal of the season in a 3-2 defeat at Leicester City on August 27, 2011. Throughout the 2011-12 season, Harding shared the left-back spot with Danny Fox, making 20 appearances. Following Southampton's promotion to the Premier League, Harding's future at the club became more uncertain due to new signings. On July 28, 2012, Harding joined Nottingham Forest for an undisclosed fee on a 3-year contract, hoping to win over the hearts of fans as a left-back. Harding made his debut in the opening game of the season at left-back in a 1-0 win over Bristol City. Harding assisted an own goal from Pablo Ibanez in a 2-2 draw against Birmingham City on September 15, 2012, and then provided another assist for Andy Reid in a 1-0 win over Peterborough United on October 6, 2012. Soon after, Harding suffered a hamstring injury. After making his return to the first team against Wolverhampton Wanderers on November 24, 2012, Harding managed to regain his left-back position before being injured against Bristol City on February 9, 2013. After months on the sidelines, where he appeared on the bench on 2 occasions, Harding made his return in a 1-0 win over Millwall. Harding finished his first season at Nottingham Forest making 20 league appearances. Harding started the 2013-14 season as an unused substitute before making his first start in a 3-1 win over Hartlepool United in the first round of League Cup. Harding played against Derby County, but was barely used in the first team as Chris Cohen was preferred in the left-back position. Harding made 5 appearances when Cohen was injured but then returned to the substitutes bench following the arrival of Danny Fox in January. Harding provided an assist for Jamie Patterson in a 2-1 loss against Millwall on April 5, 2014. He went on to make 19 appearances for the club. Ahead of the 2014-15 season, there were suggestions that Harding might be sold by Forest, and he was approached by Orlando City about a move abroad. Having initially become a first-team regular under manager Stuart Pearce, he was left out of the squad ahead of the match against Sheffield Wednesday in favour of Fox. In the first half of the season, Harding had made 8 appearances for the club. His manager Pearce praised Harding's attitude in fighting for his place in the team. On January 5, 2015, Harding was loaned to championship rivals Millwall until the end of the season. 5 days after signing for the club, Harding made his Millwall debut at left-back in a 1-0 loss against Blackpool. Harding became a regular in the first team, making 20 appearances as Millwall were relegated to League One. After his loan spell at Millwall came to an end, Harding was among 4 players released by Nottingham Forest. Harding signed a 2-year deal with National League club Eastleigh in August 2015, having turned down a move to Portsmouth. Given his links with rival Southampton, Harding made his Eastleigh debut at left-back in the opening game of the season in a 4-0 win over Southport. After his debut, Harding established himself in the first team and made 19 appearances until he suffered a calf injury during the first round of the FA Cup against Crewe Alexandra. After a month on the sidelines, Harding made his return to the first team in a 1-1 draw against Aldershot Town. In mid-February, Harding suffered a hamstring injury during a 3-2 loss to Kidderminster Harriers. In his first season at Eastleigh, Harding made 31 appearances for the club. Ahead of the 2016-17 season, Harding was placed on the transfer list by manager Chris Todd. On August 2, 2016, it was announced that he had been released by the club. In September 2016, Harding returned to Brighton, signing for National League South side Whitehawk under his former boss at Eastleigh, Richard Hill. Harding re-signed as player-coach under new manager Jimmy Dack for the start of the 2016-17 season. Following Dack's resignation on August 28, 2017, Harding was appointed caretaker manager. After the permanent appointment of Steve King on September 13, 2017, Harding left the club on September 21, 2017. In August 2004, Harding was called up by England under-21, which he described a moment that left him shocked. Harding made his England U21 debut on August 17, 2004, in a 3-1 win over Ukraine U21. After the match, Harding was praised by manager Taylor, quoting, "I was pleased with Dan. He has come on for 45 minutes and played very sensibly. He did not get beaten once." His performance was also praised by the Argus for his combining intelligent use of the ball with sound defending. Harding went to make 3 more appearances for England U21. Harding owned a Cocker Spaniel named Poppy. Harding revealed he grew up supporting Leeds United. In October 2008, Harding's mother died from cancer. Harding dedicated his goal to his mother after scoring against his former club, Leeds United. Harding is friends with Matt Richards. Harding and his wife, Vicky, have 3 children. In 2015, his wife was expecting triplets, but only one child survived. As of match played May 2, 2015. Southampton Football League Trophy, 2009-10. Football League 1 runner-up, 2010-11. Football League Championship runner-up, 2011-12 individual. PFA Team of the Year, 2010-11 League 1.